Mate, is that Tom Siegert from the Footy Show?
Yeah, from the Footy Show.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the West Gate, so...
I just got here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be there in, according to my thing, 12 minutes. So...
That's not too bad. Well, do a wee.
You going...
Do anything from the 7-Eleven?
No, I'll be right. I'll be right.
All right.
I'll be right. I was gonna get some...
We'll grab dinner when we get there, man.
I've had dinner, but I'll grab some petrol. Can you grab petrol for me?
Yeah, I'll just...
In your hands.
I'll get very keen. Oh no, we'll get a Slurpee. We'll get a large Slurpee thing.
Yeah, great.
All right.
I'll see you in a minute. Bye. Bye.
Hello, Dave. How you going? Two for 222. Yep.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you.
Sound good?
Sounding good.
I'll turn my phone off.
No, you don't worry about your phone, mate.
That's
You can
all right.
ring, doesn't matter.
It's pretty cash.
Welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill here, and I'm in a service station on the edge of Melbourne, the Western Ring Road, in a McDonald's / 7-Eleven, picking up Tom Siegert, who's living here at the moment. It's a bit sad, but...
It's been a tough couple of months.
It's tough. No, we met here because we live in different parts of the city, and we've got to go to Ballarat, don't we, Tom?
A midweeker in Ballarat. Doesn't get any better.
Doesn't get any better. And, of course, Tom Siegert, you may have seen him on the Footy Show. He does this great character called the Suburban Footballer. It's going off on the Footy Show, is it not?
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah, I've only been on the Footy Show 4 or so times, but
Still.
It's been good. It's been good, yeah.
Yeah.
Name out there.
It's exposure, mate.
It is.
Exposure.
You can't put a price on that.
It's good stuff. So why are we going to Ballarat, Tom?
We have a gig. It's a charity gig for
It's Cackles for Cancer, is
Cackles for Cancer. Yeah. So
I know, yeah.
they've got a hell of a lineup.
They've got a big lineup.
Yeah, I think there's about
6 of us at least.
6 of us, and we're all doing, well, on paper, we're all doing quite a long time. So if you add it all up, we should be home probably by the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has happened to me before, where a guy emails me or whatever, gets in contact and goes, "Why can't people in Ballarat see a good comedy show on a Wednesday night?" Well, they can if they can drive to Melbourne, but also there's a lot of comedy in Ballarat. There's actually a lot. Like, everyone tours through Ballarat.
Yep.
And how many shows have we done there for footy clubs or schools?
And schools in particular. There are a lot of school gigs in Ballarat.
You can see a lot of comedy in Ballarat.
You can, and you can see some tonight.
Yeah.
See plenty of it tonight.
Yeah, but it was originally at the Regent Theatre. Now it's been scaled down to the pub.
Which is always a good sign.
Oh, it's a good sign.
Ticket sales are a bit slow.
A bit slow on a Wednesday night in Ballarat.
Who would have thought, middle of winter?
Oh, anyway, it's this guy's dream, and we're going to help it make. What I'm trying to say. We're trying to help him
make some money for a great cause.
Yeah.
But I heard they had have sold 200 tickets. So that's
not
good.
bad. It's not bad for a Wednesday night in Ballarat.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
But I mean,
So
Ballarat's colder than most places.
Oh yeah, it's going to be tough, but it's indoors. So
Yeah, that's good.
It's in the pub.
That's not at the Eureka Stockade.
No.
Go Ballarat. Well, tune in because we're driving there now, so keep listening because we'll get back in the car after the gig. It'll be like a time swipe.
We're reasonably upbeat at the moment, but it may change.
And also, you guys don't have to go for the... We'll be back in this car in about 3 or 4 hours, whereas you guys, it'll be 10 seconds. Lucky you. Anyway, here we go to Ballarat in what best be described as peak hour traffic.
And a lot of fog.
Man, fog. It's living the dream with Tom Siegert. All right, yeah, we'll be in touch.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, fine. You're back on the debrief with Dave O'Neill and Tom Siegert. We've just exited the George Hotel in Ballarat. Tom, how would you describe the gig?
It was good. It was good.
It's a triumph.
It was a triumph.
Well, there were a lot of people on, but some people cut down their time. Other people just, did whatever.
Without telling the organisers, we sort of all agreed to do a little bit less. And,
yes.
And I think the night benefited from it.
Well, we're leaving at 10:20, so
Could have easily been well after 11.
Yeah, easily. But they stayed on time at 7:30 to give them credit. But you know what? They were all probably just sitting in there waiting.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was good. And there was a local guy emceeing who was a fireman.
What was he?
Yeah, he said he was a fireman. You missed his opening bit. He was a fireman. He used to be a teacher, now he's a fireman.
And his son was in the
his son,
front row.
River, was in the front row.
Yeah.
Who looked 10 or 12.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, he was young.
And, I mean, in the end, everyone included him in these acts. I mean, there were people talking, when the Nelson twins are on, and there were people talking about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it was some pretty dark topics.
and then David Schmeek went on, who's a Sydney comic, he was very funny, and he started talking about Ivan Milat, and then the mum was sort of saying, no, and he's like, oh, so it's cool to talk about sexual diseases and stuff, but you don't want to hear about Ivan Milat. Oh, boy. And special mention to Katie Birch.
Yeah.
Who was on, it was very funny. She just opened the door and scared the shit out of us. So
absolute shit out of us. She was up and about. I think she'd probably had nearly a bottle of red. And
she was very funny.
Yeah, she was good to go.
Because it was a room, well, mainly middle-aged people. Do you reckon?
Yeah, and a high 70% women.
Yeah, a lot of women. Yeah, they were great. They were great audience.
Yeah, they were really good.
They were good. We got out alive, Tom. That's the main thing. And
raised some money for a good cause.
Yeah, it's for a wellness centre here in Ballarat. Now, do you know where we are here? This is Bakery Hill. Now, I'll give you a history lesson, Tom.
Oh, please do.
This is where they gathered before the Eureka Stockade, Bakery Hill. Now there's a McDonald's in the spot. Historic, mate. Historic. Love
yes.
History.
So, yeah.
Here we are. Now, you're a listener to this podcast.
Yeah, long time listener, first time interviewee.
Yeah. So, you can speak of anything, Tom.
Absolutely anything.
A lot of people are libelous on this podcast. It doesn't matter.
Who are your main listeners, you reckon?
I don't know who they are. Every gig I do, at least one person comes up and says, I listen to your podcast. Except for that gig tonight. No one came up and said that. But, I was at a footy club in Croydon the other day. And this guy came, just a guy our age, my age, so you're younger than me. I'll put you in my age group. Said, yeah, I love your podcast. So, yeah. I don't know. The view, you know what changed podcast listening? And this is the same for me. Can you guess what changed it? Made it more accessible? You can get on your phone.
Get on your phone.
Get on your phone, mate. That's the answer. Because before then, I think it was quite niche.
Yeah. Because I do a lot of gigs by myself, and I actually now miss the driving home banter. So I always pop on your podcast on the way home.
And do you
feel like I'm in the?
Yeah. Do you sometimes join the conversation? Well, I've had bad gigs too.
But they're all very good, and that's what I often wonder about that, because everyone's always like, "Oh, it was a great gig." Is it ever a bad gig, or you just make sure you sort of line it up that you only do it?
No, I do it after bad gigs for sure if we ever had. But if we ever had, I have bad gigs occasionally. Oh man, I do. But see, often like you, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So tonight we basically engineered this so you could be here. Normally we probably would have driven individually.
Oh, definitely.
But because I just thought, I haven't had you on the podcast, and seeing as you're such a fan.
Cute, massive fan.
Get Siegert on, because also you've got a very interesting story, so which we will get to, people. And but like the other night, I got rung up by someone to do a private party. Now I've done private parties before, and they're fine. And it was a 50th of a guy who grew up in my area.
Oh, so
this
perfect.
is perfect. I could just mention old nightclubs for half an hour.
Yeah.
And so the woman goes, the wife rang me up and said, we don't have a lot of money, but whatever. And I said, that's okay, I'll come along. And, he's your age, blah, blah. Oh, great, this would be great, this would be so easy. And it's in this hotel. And I'm like, oh, that hotel? And she's like, well, have you been there since it's been renovated? And I'm like, all right, steady on defending the shit hotel that you're sending me to. Of course, they owned the hotel.
Oh, okay.
And so it's this massive hotel.
So got off on the wrong foot.
Well, got off on the wrong foot, but also should have asked for more money, Tom.
Oh, yeah, good point.
They own this huge hotel. I get there, and I haven't been to this hotel for years. And I meet her, and she's lovely, and she goes, all right. So he's upstairs. He's got his friends up there. And so I just want you to go on, roast him, get stuck into him.
Have you got a microphone?
Yeah, okay, it's a microphone, yeah. And so, but also my daughter wants to read a poem out about him. She's 10 maybe. And then can you interview my son who's 5 about him?
Pretty standard gig.
I'm like, yeah, okay. That's sort of thinking, well, the more other stuff to do is good. You know what I mean? And I'm also thinking happy birthday for him. And so I get up there, and it's not it's a room in a hotel, but it's like a nightclub. Yeah. So the hotel, which used to be a dodgy hotel, has been done up to be basically a nightclub. So I walk through a nightclub with young people dancing and stuff, and the lights really dim, to get to this room, which is again like a nightclub. It's really dark. Like you barely can't see anything, and the music's pumping. There's a DJ.
Yeah. And
so he hands me a mic, and it's a cord that you can't go very far.
Okay.
And so then she goes, all right, I'm going to introduce you. So she introduces me, but people are still talking because it's like, and I go, oh, guys, all right. And so then I start, and I get the guy to come up and stand next to me, but then his 2 kids start hugging him. And so I'm thinking, how can I roast this guy when his kids are hugging him? And so I'm doing a bit of stand-up, and it's not going that great. And then, because there's still sort of people talking, and behind me, the 2 bouncers, who's one is doing the DJ, are talking really loudly.
Yeah.
Like really loudly. I could hear the conversation. I'm doing stand-up, and I could hear the guy going, well, I said to her, I'm not fucking going to LA again. I want to go to Vegas this time. I'm going to fucking Vegas. And I turned around and I said, guys, we're just having the speeches. And the really big guy goes, I'm only here for Dave, which was the birthday guy. And I said, well, it's his speeches. and then the 2 bouncers give me that look, that bouncers give you before they throw you down the stairs. And I just went, oh my God, I'm scared. And so I hung onto this Dave guy, who's now got me hugging him as well as his kids. And anyway, I go, all right. I give the speech. I just abandon ship and go, Dave, do you want to say a few words? And he starts talking, and these guys are still talking. And I say, guys, shh. And the guy says again, I'm just here for Dave. I went, well, he's giving his fucking speech. Do you want to shut up? So anyway, that's an example of a bad gig.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, that's not great. How long ago was that?
Oh, about 2 weeks ago.
Do you stress about them now, or do you move on?
Honestly, I get in the car and just go, because they're really lovely people.
Yeah.
They're really nice people, but it's just the environment is too hard to overcome.
Yeah, it's unworkable.
I mean, you must have done things like that.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of footy clubs. So and the footy clubs are
generally
normally
pretty good.
rooms.
They're pretty good.
The footy club rooms are normally pretty good.
And there's often a coach or a captain will go, guys, shut up.
Yeah, they're good, and they do. The only issue is alcohol can be a factor.
Yeah, pissed.
If I do a lot of like Sundays, I guess
like reverse draws,
and comedies, not number one on their priority. Listening's not, because quite often on a Sunday guys have gone all the way through. Gone straight through, and they're a bit of a mess, and guys are pretty drunk. It's normally free alcohol, and but they're normally okay. They're normally okay.
Yeah, right. And so when you do those gigs, people don't know you do a character called the Suburban Footballer.
I do. Yeah, I've done stand up for 13 years, and I've done the character for probably 2.5.
And it's taken off.
Yeah, it's going.
It's huge
really
on
great.
Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, so probably 70% of my gigs now are as the Suburban Footballer.
Which is a character.
He's a character, yeah. So he's basically he's just a football playing coach. I come out in a helmet and a mouth guard, all my footy gear and my socks up,
and the little whiteboard.
Yeah,
which I've seen at my daughter's playing AFL now.
And I read the team out.
Yeah.
And it's good. It sort of captures.
So you get the names of the names, yeah?
Oh, I can. Yeah, if they want to. I don't push it, but if they say, sometimes the week before they'll say, "Oh, can we give you a list of players?" and it's very easy to work in. Like and they think you're being real clever, and it's and it's not. And and I come out and I've got a little boom box, and I play Eye of the Tiger, and I do my warm up. And it goes really well because every footy club has the same warm up, and they all think they're original. Raise the knees and flick the heels, and pretend you're marking a footy that's not there, and it sort of gets everyone's attention. So it's good. It normally gets them on side early
because you basically mind a niche, but it's in Australia. It's such a massive niche.
Yeah,
it's huge football.
Oh, I mean, so there must be hundreds and hundreds of football clubs.
Oh, thousands.
Thousands
I
of
reckon.
football clubs in Australia.
Well,
And
you've just done. I mean, have you ever done Perth or South Australia?
Yeah. So went over to South Australia recently, and I actually did my first lot of shows in Perth. So I did.
Oh, that's where you trialled it.
So that's where it sort of took off first, because a guy that plays for the West Coast Eagles got onto it in the real early days and
Of
put
Facebook?
it on his Facebook page, or shared it or something. And
Was he a player? Or?
a player for the West Coast
Who's
Eagles.
that?
Shuey.
Oh, Shuey.
Yeah, who's got he's got a pretty good following. So so my shows over there sold out really quickly. So
Did you throw Shuey a free ticket?
no, I didn't know they were all coming. But my second night,
So Nakanui was there?
yeah, big Nick Nat, he was there. And
Great.
Pritis and all.
See, I mentioned the one player I know.
So it was good. I love it. Like they're my.
You're a footy head. You love footy anyway.
I love footy. I love local footy. So I sort of rock it up to.
You are amazing, because I've done footy clubs with you, and all the other comments will go, "Oh, is there somewhere we can go to be by ourselves?" You're in there amongst them. Who'd you play today? What happened?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But also, it's good material. If you find out, I always say, "What team do you hate?"
Yeah.
So if there's ever a lull in the act, I go, "Oh, fuck Ferntree Gully," or whoever, and they all cheer. Yeah, fuck him.
There's always someone that stuffed up that day or did something, so it's
Man.
And again, it's not hard to look like you've put a lot of work into it. All you got to do is mention a couple of things, and it looks like you've tailored the show.
Yeah.
Which is something I try to do.
Yeah, and then of course it's been picked up by the Footy Show.
Yeah. So the Footy Show contacted us early this year, and I've been on there maybe 4 or 5 times, and it's been really good. Yeah, it's been really good.
Well, that's just another
profile.
Whenever I ring you up, what do you say? You go, "Is that Dave O'Neill from the Nugget?"
Is that Dave O'Neill from the Nugget? Yeah.
Which is a story I told you, which is, you remember, I had a builder for a while, and when I was getting a renovation done, he'd always do this when I'd ring him up. "G'day, is that Dave O'Neill from the Nugget and Nova FM?" Because it was years ago. It would have been 15 years ago. And he used to quote because I go, "Are you standing with people, Danny? Are you with..." "I might be." But he's done it with me. I've been with him, and who rang up? Daryl Jackson, who's a famous architect. "Is that Daryl Jackson, the famous architect?" On the line, mate. But now when you ring me, I say Tom Siegert from the Footy Show.
Which is fair enough.
Hey, it's good, but it helps with the comedy career if you can get a credit.
Yeah. So it's and I was careful not to sort of do it to death. Like I think if I had been on there every week, I think it would have got a bit much. But I've sort of
Mate, is Street Talk still on every week?
I don't think so.
Does he still do it, Sam Newman?
I think they do it every now and again.
Oh man,
it was on tonight.
Oh, I watched the best of Street Talk one year. I swear, I was crying. I was laughing so much. So I know it's not politically correct to say I find him very funny.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's a friendly guy.
Yeah,
he always remembers your name.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy.
Because some of these other guys give you nothing. James Brayshaw, met him at least 4 times, pretends, "I don't know who you are. No idea." But, I reckon I've met Sam less, and he's friendly.
Yeah. Most of them are good guys.
Yeah. Do you get excited when you meet football players? Like if you're a Collingwood man, when you first met Dakes?
Yeah, well, I only just met Dakes for the first time last 2 weekends ago.
Oh, wow.
Sat on a table with him at a sportsman's luncheon. I do a fair bit with Dane Swan, who's Swanee, one of my heroes.
Yeah, he's funny though.
He's good. Dry as a chip, but he's great.
We did the Albion Football Club the other 2. So it's on a Sunday. It's a reverse draw.
Yeah,
we were talking about. And so the guy rings me up and he goes, "Look, last year the president tried to fight one of the Nelson twins.
Oh, okay.
Jumped up on stage. Now, I met the president. He maintains he was mucking around. Now, the Nelson twins, who are on tonight, are very funny guys, but they're football players. They punch on occasionally with each other.
Yeah.
They know when someone's mucking around or not mucking around.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good radar for that.
Yeah, the guy wasn't mucking around. And so the guy goes, "Okay, well, I'll get you there at midday," because they're pretty big drinkers. He rings me at 11 and goes, "Mate, there's 100 people here drinking already. You got to come now." So I turn up, and it was one of those gigs where all the blokes were standing up, and they had their girlfriends and some of their mums sitting to the left of the stage.
Yeah.
And but there was as you know, when you pick someone out in the crowd, the captain, who was a little bloke, had a neck brace on, which I did about 10 minutes on his neck brace. Just, hey, what are you doing in the car park to get your neck brace? What are you? And then I said, any more information about this guy? And this guy yelled out, his mum makes his lunches. And I said, really? And then his mum stood up and go, yes, I do. And I'm happy to do it. I was like, oh. But anyway, Dane got there and they were just,
Oh, they love him.
Oh, they love him. He's a hero.
Yeah.
He's an absolute hero. Yeah, exciting. So was it exciting to meet Dacos? Did you get in the fan boy?
I got to interview him, which was I do a lot of interviewing guys at sportsmen's.
I've done that, but I don't know football that well, so I've got in a bit of trouble.
But most of them you can just, like Dermy, you say, what give us a story behind the 1989 grand final, your incident with Yates, and he will talk for 45 minutes. So some of them you've got to, ask quite a bit, but most of them you just ask one question, they're away.
I'm trying to remember when I first met you. That's what I course.
Yeah, I know you always ask that, and I was trying to think about. I remember when I first moved to Melbourne, listening to you guys on
Nova.
On Nova, but I don't remember.
I remember you used to do a routine about the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Remember that routine? What was that routine? Was it reading an article or something? Or you read something in the paper, or was it they changed a rule? Or
the Grand Prix was about something about Albert Park Lake.
Yes. About the ducks.
I think that was a different one about how the swans cross here.
Yeah.
And I was really worried that they would cross, so I just mowed straight through them before they
that's right.
before they
I reckon
started.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
What was the Grand Prix one?
But I'm trying to remember when I first saw you, because when you started, you did a lot of sort of one-liners.
Yeah, I was.
And you were kind of like a not a character, but you were almost monotone.
Yeah, well, I think I was a bit of a character because I used to wear that like skin tight brown ladies.
That's right.
Adidas tracksuit.
Yes.
Yeah, the pants.
So you would come on and people would just go, "Is there something wrong with him?"
Yeah. It was. You're right. It was very one line. I remember Elliot Goblet.
That's right.
Jack
he loved
Levi,
you.
He loved me.
And then when you started doing stories, you got disappointed.
He got a bit disappointed in me. And I remember once the first time I met him. He goes, "Oh hi, that was I just saw your stuff. That was fantastic. Not many people do the one-liners anymore." And I said, "Elliot," and he goes, "Oh, it's Jack." I said, "Jack, this is actually a coincidence." And I just last weekend I was driving up from Albury-Wodonga to Melbourne, and I was getting a bit tired.
Wodonga, yeah.
And I stopped at the service station. And I bought one of your cassettes, and I played it on the way.
Cassette?
Yeah, this is how long ago it was. I bought one of your cassettes, and I played it on the way back to Melbourne to keep me awake. And he goes, "Oh, which one?" And I said, and I wasn't even trying to be funny, I said, "Oh, the service station just outside of Chuka." No, just outside of Euroa.
That's a great joke.
And he goes, "Oh, you are good. You are good." And I was like,
"You're at it again."
What? I was like, "What?" And I was dead serious. But he obviously meant the...
Stop doing material.
He meant what cassette did you buy? He must have had a few.
That's a fucking great joke. Which one? Oh, not the service station, you idiot.
But he thought I was being brilliant.
Yeah, it's like a joke from Joey from Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I remember, you know what? I remember talking to you where your mum was at a gig in Geelong in, what was it, Pulse nightclub? Remember they used to do comedy? It was downstairs.
Yeah.
And it was a great night. And I remember meeting your mum and talking to you there, but I hadn't met you somewhere else before that. And that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's sort of a...
Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's been a glorious career.
Oh, my career?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's been...
Absolutely. Such a quick rise to the top.
Yeah, but it takes a long time sometimes, you know what I mean?
And I've sort of haven't...
You've been working.
I have been working. I haven't probably committed as much as I could. I often wonder, I was lucky to get I didn't do anything at school. Like I did very, very poorly at school. And my options were... But
your dad was a dentist limited. And your mum was a teacher or something, did you?
Mum was a hairdresser.
Yeah, so that... She
did hairdressing, a bit of real estate. And
But did you go to uni or anything? Or?
No. Well, I got 27 in my out of 100 in my year 12.
That doesn't sound great.
No, it wasn't good at all. So I was
Were you partying a lot? Or?
Yeah. So we used to go out every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
In year 12?
All through year 12, yeah. It got so bad, sometimes we used to go out Thursday, which was a night over in Albury, Boogie Wonderland, and we used to go straight, because it used to shut at 5, and we used to go and sleep on the Oval and just go straight into school. Oh, we were
everyone says that your stories of your drinking in youth are just unbelievable.
I was hopeless on the piss when I was younger, and it probably it wasn't great for my year 12. So I didn't get into any uni course, but then I really wanted to do business marketing. So I went over to Charles Sturt University and knocked on the door and said, and can I meet with the boss or whoever it is? And went in and
Where's in Perth or Adelaide or something?
Charles Sturt was in Albury.
Oh, in Albury,
just across the border. And I pleaded my case and I said, look, I partied a bit hard in year 12, but I'm good to go. And he said, okay, we'll put you in. And so they put me in, and the moment I got in, a mate was going overseas, so I thought I'll come. So I what do you call it?
Had a gap year, or
had a gap year. So when I travelled overseas and came back, and then went back to uni, and I'd sort of been travelling and sort of doing what I wanted, so I wasn't really ready to settle into university. And I got 2 weeks in, and I remember, and they called me into the office after 2 weeks, and they said, you can do what you want, we're not telling you what to do, but just so you know, if you pull out within another week, you don't have to pay for the first.
I don't have to pay X.
You don't have to pay, but if you drop out now, you've dropped out so early that you don't have to pay anything. And I said, do you think I should drop out? And they said, yeah, we reckon you should drop out. So I was 2 weeks in, and I hadn't done anything. I had not.
It's like a private school in year 11 when they get the dumber kids, and they go, "You ever thought about going to TAFE?"
Yes.
Happened to my cousin. Do you want to? You can't sit your VCE here, and so you dropped out.
Yeah, so I dropped out. So I wasn't. I just wasn't going to. I was only 2 weeks in. I hadn't done anything. So I did O week. I didn't miss a thing at O week.
That's not such an unusual story. There's a lot of comics that like Husey dropped out. There's a lot of uni dropouts in comedy.
I don't feel like I dropped out though. I just feel like I didn't go to uni.
Yeah, you didn't start.
I signed up, and then it's like I went to the office and then just.
Then what did you do? Did you start working for the people you're still working for now? Or?
No. So then I got a job. I did the country thing. So when I got a job at the Meatworks. Got a job at Sunnycrust Bakery, packing the bread.
Jeez, they're hard jobs.
Went fruit picking for a while.
Again, another hard job.
Yeah, so did a bit of that. Travelled around. Went and played football up at Griffith for a year, so they got us a job. Footy club up there got us a job. They called me the director of traffic at this chicken.
Oh, you were
farm.
at a chicken farm?
Yeah, but I just used to get out and direct this truck back. The trucks are back in. To the shed, I used to look at them in the rearview mirror and just move my hand to back them up. It was so boring. So I did that for about 6 months, and then moved to Melbourne, and did was a dental technician for 4 years. So
my God, I went for a job interview. Was that when I was at school?
Yeah.
And you got to put bits of wire around, make plates and stuff.
Yeah. So I was always pretty good with my hands. So in the interview, you had to make this. I
remember doing the interview. You had to do like a practical thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was no good at that.
And mine was. I cut myself a little bit on the hand, and then I thought, oh God, I'm stuffed. And I looked over at the guy next to me, and he'd nearly cut his whole hand off. Like he had just blood all over him. So I was like, well, I've beaten him. And
is that where you met Fiona Loughlin's old husband?
Yeah. So he sat next to me. Yeah. So I did 4 years of that with like a traineeship type thing.
Yeah, it's like being a tradie in a way, a technician kind of.
So I did sort of orthodontics and sleep apnea, but I hated it. But that's where I saw comedy for the first time, and it was good.
Where was that?
I was on a date back in my single days, sitting out in front of the Espy, having a few beers with this girl.
Okay, Tammy, if you're listening, turn off now. All right.
And
that's your wife.
And there was someone going around.
Telling people to come and
handing out little flyers saying, "Come at the back to
probably me
to to the. It might have been you. Back
I never did that.
to the Gershwin room,
Yeah.
which was out the back, and I went out. It was $10 or something, and so we both went out and paid our $10, and I sat down and I saw Greg Fleet.
Legend, yeah.
And he was, and I still to this day say I've never laughed that hard in my life, and I said that's what I want to do, and I probably didn't do it for 5 years, but it was good because dental technician was such a mind-numbing job.
You could think of
I would
jokes.
just think of stuff all day,
Yeah.
and so I'd jot stuff down, and so when I eventually did get around to starting, I had a fair backlog of.
Where was your first
shitty
gig?
jokes. It was part of the, what is it? The
Not Raw Comedy.
yeah, Raw Comedy at the Evelyn.
Evelyn Hotel, yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people tell all their mates that they're doing stand up, but I didn't tell them. I did about 20 gigs before anyone knew I did it.
Yeah, good
I
idea.
told my flatmates I was seeing a girl, and I wasn't seeing a girl. I was
You're
just
doing
like,
gigs.
it's so good, you know.
And how did you go at Raw? Did you get through to a heater?
No, I didn't.
No.
Didn't get through. But that's where I met. It's about the same time as I met Troy Kinney and.
Yeah, you're from. You'd be hanging out with him.
Yeah, and a guy called Dan Carmody and Dave Thornton,
and Monty Franklin.
Yeah, Monty Franklin. That's where we sort of made a bit of a group and started doing footy clubs and stuff. Bought some sound equipment and the rest is history.
Yes. Yeah, Dave Thornton tells that story of you doing that footy club where they didn't want you there or some story.
Oh yeah, no, it was at
I think he's told on this podcast. Cranbourne or Berwick or something like that.
Where
No,
was
they
it?
asked you
It was
for a
awful.
reduction. They wanted you a reduction in the money, didn't they? Like,
Well, they just didn't pay. Yeah, well, they didn't want to pay. They were looking for a reason for us to fail.
Yeah,
and then,
right.
and we all said, let's just do our time. So because I think they catered for about 200, and they were like, there was something else on there. Would have been under 20 people there.
Oh,
and you could just tell that they'd done their nuts. And
these days I would turn up and just say to them, John, I won't go on. Don't worry. I'll just go home. Don't worry about the money. You know.
But we didn't know. We weren't smart enough to do that.
No, when you're young, you go, I want to go on.
Yeah.
I can win these people over.
And so Troy and I did our time, and just to try and anything to sort of, you know, so we did our time, and then Thornton, but he pulled up stumps very early, but in his defence, he was last, and he was copping a bit of shit, and it was just a bad vibe in the room, and
I think you do your worst gigs when you start out because you also don't have the experience to cope with anything.
Oh yeah, you got
your routine. You're like, oh, don't talk to me. What's happening?
Yeah, and they just stormed backstage, and they want us, and I was I'd been talking to a few of the guys.
Yeah, you were the footy club. You saved it apparently.
I was trying to reason with them. Troy was firing up, and then we sort of did the walk of shame out to the guy. Oh no, but we all came. The only thing that saved us was like one of them goes, "This is bullshit. We paid $3,000 for this shit," and we were like, "Hey, hang on," and we were like getting like $400 each. So the agency obviously took a heap. So we sort of deflected the a lot of the hatred towards the agency, which got us time to get out to the car and did a big burnout in the car park and got out of
Yeah, don't you love it? You turn up to a gig and you paid a small amount of money, and the guy goes, "Yeah, it's costing a lot of money."
I'm not getting it. Yeah.
Oh, I did this gig in with Jeff Green and Nick Cody, and look, they had about 60 people there.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy behind the bar, well, and it was like, so I worked it out. They had made money. You know what I mean? Because I worked out because I knew what I was getting. I wasn't getting much, and Jeff told me how much he was getting.
Yeah,
and
you're
Cody,
like me. You count
I count the people and see, and because I knew me and Jeff were getting a very small amount of money, and Cody was getting. This was when Cody, before he was a bit of a star, getting even less money, and so the talent bill was under this amount, and the guy goes, nah. So I reckon the talent bill was under like $1,000, and he goes, nah, the guy's charging me over $2,000.
Yeah, that's.
I'm like, what? And so this guy that was running the gig was getting over he was getting $1,200 or something like that. I had a massive go at him.
I do most of my gigs are organised by myself.
Yeah. So you can just shaft yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. The agent said, hang on, you're the agent.
But that's why I do most of my dealing through emails and messages, because I'm so much sort of tougher
on the phone, it's
on
terrible.
The phone,
It's terrible.
I'll be bartering myself down.
Yeah.
And they just won't even say anything. I'll just be going, oh no, I'll do it for this. Oh, no, I guess it is.
I had a guy
It's
ring me up the other day
Wednesday,
about a grand final breakfast, and he's like, he goes, we want you to do this gig. We've had this person, we had Greg Champion, Peter Hellier. I said, all right, well, what did Peter Hellier get? Knowing that he would get more than me.
Yeah.
And he goes, he got like this amount, but you can ask for more if you like. He's like an old guy. I went, oh, no, I'll just have what he had. That's fine, mate.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It was still reasonable money. Bloody hell.
It's a fine line.
Yeah, you don't want the club to lose money.
Oh, no, not at all. It's just a
Lose
bad
money.
vibe. And
Yeah, it's not good. I've had like an agent or someone ring up and go, look, we've had a baseball club from Doncaster ring up, and we quoted $5,000 for you. I'm like, $5,000?
Yeah.
They don't even make $5,000.
Yeah.
You've got to quote a lot less than that. We're stuck behind a tanker. What's going on here, Siegert? Anyway, you listen to the debrief. We've got the great Tom Siegert. Look him up. Look up the Suburban Footballer. If you're at least a little bit interested in football, go to his Facebook page, and it is very funny. And of course, now I'm involved in football because my 12-year-old daughter's playing AFL.
Yeah.
It's a whole other world, isn't it?
That's late.
It's
late
late.
for you to be getting into.
Yeah, because my brother played. My dad is a massive Collingwood supporter, but I reckon he didn't take us. We went once or twice with him. This was like in the 70s, and he would lose his mind and yell out and start arguments and fights. And
Yeah, you don't want to see Dad doing that.
and we reckon there was a release for him. You know, it was a great.
Yeah.
And so Mum would go, Dad, let your father go.
Yeah.
And he would go. He still goes.
Well,
And my brother goes with him because Dad's over 80. And he still starts arguments with Hawthorn supporters and. Oh, yeah, is that what you reckon, do you, mate? Is that what you reckon? And Mark's like, Dad, don't start a fight. If you're 80-something, you're starting a fight.
Yeah, that's no good. Oh, I took my kids to the, my wife and I took my kids to the footy for the first time last Sunday. And,
Collingwood won.
yeah, and I thought, love the kids, love footy. Thought combining the two would be the perfect.
It's bad, isn't it?
It was,
Not
we
good.
got there 5 minutes into the final quarter. It was just,
It took you that long to get there?
Yeah, someone would just be out the door and someone would bloody crap their pants and have to go in and change.
But also, do you lose your mind at the footy? Do you go crazy?
No, I'm pretty chilled out. Yeah, I don't. I've seen a couple of premierships. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And Collingwood are doing okay?
Yeah.
They're doing okay.
No,
As you know, anyone listens to the podcast, I performed for the players the other night. We're good friends with them all. Still got that signed jumper. But you know what? What is it about local footy though? And this is my daughter's playing under 12s. It attracts some very angry fathers. Doesn't dads are just living their lives.
Oh, through their children. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
You know, girls' football has been very good for men who just had daughters and they love their AFL.
Yeah.
So for years they've been standing on the side of the soccer field and the netball thing going, yeah, this is all right, but and now they've started playing AFL. There's some of these dads. We played a team the other day, and the mum was telling me that the week before, one of the dads took his shirt off and ran on the field in anger.
You can't do that.
Took his shirt off.
What was the age? Oh, actually, it's not right at any age.
Oh, they're under 12s.
Oh, yeah. That's too young.
And my daughter's like, how embarrassing for the girl.
What was it? Was it like a protest or something?
Yeah, it was like a protest against the umpire. Like the Incredible Hulk took his shirt off.
Gee whiz.
The mum's like, he wasn't even ripped.
Footy's been cleaned up a lot. That they used to be like 20 years ago. It was rough.
Feral, yeah.
Yeah, there was. There'd be fights on the field and off the field, but you don't see it much anymore, which is good.
Yeah. And you play for the Caulfield Bears, or you did for a long
Bears,
time.
Yeah. We've got our 25-year anniversary coming up in a few weeks.
You're a legend down there.
Exciting.
Imagine how many free gigs you'd get asked to do. I couldn't imagine.
No,
Done a lot.
Done a lot.
My daughter had played 2 weeks. They rang me up to get you to a free gig at her club. Yeah, great.
Well, I'm doing a free gig coming up for the kids' kindergarten. So I'm just starting to do what
that's
you've
what happens.
done for
I've done
many
that.
years, yeah. And there's a lot of pressure on because if you have a shit gig, you've got to show your face down in kindergarten.
It's terrible. And I don't know if your wife comes to a lot of your gigs, but my partner, she used to, when I first started, she used to come to all the gigs. Now 3 kids, she doesn't come hardly ever.
Yeah.
And then she'll come to the school one, but one year she was texting me on stage.
Yeah, don't say that.
And it said, you're swearing too much. Yeah, good times. Now you're listening to the debrief. No, the debrief is supported by supersimplecards.com. Get a pack of greeting cards from Super Simple Cards using the code DEBRIEF at the checkout. Supersimplecards.com. Check them out. Look, they're made in Australia. They're made in Gippsland. And they're powered by solar. Yeah, there's no trees to cut down to make the cards. So the cards are compostable too. You can chuck them in the compost when you finish with them, if you receive one. So find a link in the show notes or go to supersimplecards.com. Get 10% off your entire order when you use the code DEBRIEF at the checkout. All shipping is free. Get a great pack of environmentally friendly cards. It'll save you time and money. Yeah, it's a good idea. Go to supersimplecards.com. All right, back to the show. You're back on the debrief to Tom Siegert, aka the suburban footballer, father. You know what's interesting about you? You've got 3 kids and very little kids, all under 6.
Yeah, all under 5,
which is
5 and under.
Oh man, that's a tough time. I remember that time.
It is hard, Jacko.
I remember that time. I chose that time to go on cruises a lot. No, I didn't. wish I could. But that is hard. It's interesting that you've decided to, and maybe it's just a matter of timing and luck that you've amped up your career.
Yeah, I think it would be tough if it didn't have an income coming in. You know,
yes.
Like that sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, if I was just starting out with kids and it was sort of still hanging out at the
open mics.
Yeah, I'd find that pretty.
Yeah, so most nights
tough.
you go, you're earning money, and
Yeah.
you can say to your partner, "No, we're earning money for the children," and but apart from the gigs you do for your kinder club and your footy club, and if the kids join Scouts, we'll be doing one for them and every other sporting organisation. All right, so let's do the questions.
Oh yeah.
You're a regular listener. You know what went well tonight and why, Tom, and you can talk about anything.
Well, I thought what went well.
Because you were second on after the local.
After the local guy, yeah, after the local MC and the first local act was a young guy.
A young guy who talked about sexually transmitted diseases. The whole time.
He looked 16.
He looked young.
How many STDs can you have?
I don't know.
16. But,
he's a lovely young man.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He did really well. What went well? I thought the room was very polite.
They were really polite.
They were. You know, that no one had more than 2 or 3 drinks. The room was set up beautifully. The light wasn't great. It was
bit blind.
It was a little bit at the Phantom of the Opera. So I didn't do any crowd work. I don't think just because.
No, because also crowd work should be left to the MC and the headliner. I reckon that's my view.
Yeah, true.
You see some people, as they say, MCing from the middle.
Yeah.
But what didn't go well then?
Didn't go well. I think it all went pretty well.
Pretty well.
I'm glad we sort of cut it short.
Yeah, we cut out a break.
Cut out a break, so I went on, and everyone did probably 5 minutes less than they were meant to. It just would have been too long on a Wednesday. They would have been tired.
Yeah, it's a school night.
It is, yeah.
And any organisational hazards got in our way? You know what? The bar wasn't open.
Yeah, that was weird.
The George Hotel, so it's a very big hotel in Ballarat. They've got this great room out the back, which is they do a regular comedy night there, Ballarat Cat Comedy, and the bar's normally open. And they didn't even have a staff member behind the bar.
So everyone had to go out to that front bar. But
that's a very bad decision. Yeah, and also, were the heaters on?
It was cold.
That was an organisational hazard. We nearly got pneumonia.
Yeah, when I'm cold, I don't think it's nerves, but I really shake, and it sort of makes you not feel ready to go. I didn't.
Freezing.
I was freezing when I got up there.
How can we do better next time? Turn on the heater.
Yeah, just turn on the heater. Just turn. And it's not like they couldn't see the cold coming. It's
Ballarat
in the middle of winter.
It's Ballarat.
It's been that way for a while.
It's a very cold place.
So just heaters and maybe a couple of less acts, but we got around that.
But we managed it well.
Yeah. No, it was good. I think everyone really enjoyed it. You had a ripper to finish off.
It was good actually. I was worried because there was so many acts on, but I just punched through.
Yeah, you made a very good decision to get rid of that. There was going to be a break, and then you get up to close the night, but you just said, no, I'll get up. And so you...
Well, me and you talked it through.
Yeah, we did. And it was definitely for the better.
Well, the fact that also people had to leave the room to get a drink, it would have been another 10 or 15 minute break.
Oh, yeah.
This is all the ins and outs of comedy. It's very important. It's very important.
And but I think it was a very good night. And
now we're driving back.
Now we're driving home, work tomorrow. And
what time do you have to get up?
I normally try and get in about 8.
Oh.
The boys are normally up fairly early.
Your kids get up?
Yeah, normally up by 6:30 or something.
Whoa!
So the days of the sleeping are certainly on hold at the moment.
Yeah, look, I've got a teenager now. He can sleep in.
Yeah.
It's like a cliche, but seriously.
And we've got the musical beds. Like Noah will come into our bed.
Yeah.
I'll go into Flynn's, and you wake up and you're like, how the hell did I get here?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, how many nights have you had in the single bed, just sleeping there? Oh man, our son, our youngest, used to turn up with his pillow and teddy bear at the door. Like, I'm here, okay, getting in. But you always have a crap sleep. It's just.
Yeah.
I wake up with a foot. They sleep really well, but you wake up with a foot in your head, or.
Yeah. Oh, they sleep like logs.
They love getting in bed.
And how something so small can take up
so much room.
Space. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very. It can be very disturbing nights of sleep, but it does get better.
It does get better.
It gets better, mate. You got in.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. No, it gets better. It's much. But you never stop being a parent. Apparently.
Never stop being a parent.
Well, apparently.
That's true. Just different problems.
Even though my dad at 80, I reckon they're finally don't have to do that much for us. Yeah, they don't have to do that much for us anymore. They're not lending people money or picking us up.
Okay. Well, kids stay at home until, isn't it, like 28 or something?
We left when we were 20.
Jesus.
So.
You left when you were...
Yeah, my mum was crying. Yeah.
Yeah, I left when I was about... Actually, I was an exchange student. I left when I was about 16. Went to Canada for...
Oh, you had a great time there.
12 months, yeah.
Now, my dad was an empty nester at my age. He was an empty nester when he was 50. We'd all gone at the age of 50.
Yeah, that'd be...
Well, it's hard, especially for the mums of those days. They just dedicated their life. Like my mum just dedicated her life to us.
Yeah.
She just worked part time, and then we all go, and she's like, okay. What song should we play?
Do I get to pick?
Yeah, you can pick.
A wide variety of music that I listen to.
Yeah, you do. You've had your phone on at gigs, and you've had some pop.
And
you've had a bit of country, hip hop. Not country.
I love the Counting Crows.
Counting Crows.
I even loved. I loved Jewel, the singer. I named our dog after Jewel.
Jewel.
I've seen her
I've
twice
met
in
Jewel.
concert. Oh, seriously?
I interviewed her.
She was my first true love.
I tell this story on Josh Hill's podcast. She's lovely. Yeah. She was wearing a tracksuit. Her boyfriend wasn't nice. He tried to fight me, kind of. Oh. He came into the room and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm doing an interview."
Was he the Rodeo
Yes.
guy?
Yes, he was wearing a big hat. What's going on here?
Yeah, I think she'd have a great sense of humour. She was my first love.
Jewel. Do you want to play some Jewel? Because it was a classic album. Remember, she was living in a car.
Yeah. What she got? Foolish Games, Hands.
Hands was the big one, wasn't it?
Hands was.
Did you buy a poetry book?
Yeah, I bought a poetry book.
Oh my God!
It was singer, songwriter, poet, inspiration.
Jewel.
Hands became the we didn't not as much in Australia, but Hands over in the States became the anthem for 9/11. Yeah. So about hands are small and all sticking together through tough times and so forth. Yeah.
Right, so she could be on a wanted list from Al Qaeda now. Jewel.
Probably. But
Jewel.
Yeah, seen Counting Crows a couple of times. But Jewel or Counting Crows.
But Counting Crows, I just think of Mr. Jones, Mr. That's their song, isn't it?
Yeah, that was them. Yeah.
And they did a cover of Big Yellow Taxi.
Yeah, that was shit.
That's a
that
great
was really
song.
Disappointing. Yeah.
What are their other hits? I just think of Mr. Jones.
Around here.
Is that better than Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
That song got played so much on Triple M. Yeah. It was like
it still does.
They're the new Matchbox 20. They just fucking moved in.
Yeah.
Them
but then I like Hilltop Hoods and that sort of stuff.
We should play some. We've never played.
They're the best live performers I've ever seen.
Where'd you see them?
I've seen them in a couple of festivals, and I went with fellow comedian Evan Hocking to see them at
It's been on this podcast.
Andrew Bold went and saw him play with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra not that long ago.
Oh, right.
Yeah, at the tennis centre.
Yeah, Hughes was walking down the street in Adelaide and goes, these three skinheads came up and started hugging me in hoodies. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, we're the Hilltop Hoods, mate. We love you. Thought I was going to get stabbed. Don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
good.
let's play them. Let's play that song, that great song.
I think Nosebleed section.
Nosebleed
is,
section.
That's it. Yeah.
That's up there with the
one.
Avalanches. Their big one. That's up there with that.
The one where and he makes false teeth, because we used to sing that as dental technique.
Oh, really?
And he makes false teeth.
Yeah. That's a good one too. But let's play the Hilltop Hoods.
Sounds good.
All right. Tom Siegert, thanks for coming on the podcast.
No, thanks for having us.
We've only got another hour to go. We could record another one. Pretend to be someone. Oh, you know what? We'll do one as a suburban footballer. Stay tuned. We're not going to. Check him out on Facebook, guys.